Whether they be apprentices, students, trainers, teachers, principals of colleges or employers, and whether they are from North France or Southeast England, they have one thing in common. For 2 years they have taken part in Interreg 3A. That is, in an experimental programme in which apprentices and students from Kent and Nord-Pas-de-Calais have crossed the Channel and changed places for a short stay with professional linguistic and cultural objectives. And it is for an initial assessment of this formidable undertaking that they have gathered today, Tuesday the 26th of April 2005, at the Palais de Métiers in Coire near Lille, for a day of demonstrations and comments. To begin, we'll make a short trip through cuisine and cooking. This is a question of modifying fixed ideas. Of course, the French are extremely fastidious where food is concerned, but this doesn't mean they go hungry across the Channel. For me, the benefits have been primarily linguistic and cultural. Professionally also, however, I have discovered something in the slight exoticism of the recipes. And what was particularly interesting was to discover the great richness of English cuisine, due to the wide variety of recipes. As for our English neighbours, in coming to our region, they have of course benefited from our know-how. From French products to French culinary techniques, they have had plenty of lessons they can now adapt as they wish.
I think that the exchange does improve the skills on both sides, but it also gives them the opportunity to use purely French and purely English foods, because there's a lot that they use here in France that we either are unable to get in England, or if we had them we perhaps wouldn't know how to use them to their best. And the same in England. Some of our ingredients are quite alien, and the way we cook it is very strange to the French students.
Well, the task is usually you have to get it all prepared at a certain time. It has to be cooked and out at a certain time, and it has to be hot as well. The cooking has to be done perfect. You can't be undercooked or overcooked. It just has to be perfect.
Ready, steady, cook. On your marks, get set, go. The exercise was fun and not just useful for learning new techniques, it was also excellent for communication.
To do the washing up. Yes. Yeah. After.
As for hairdressing, the exchanges were as useful for the trainers as for the apprentices.
Immeasurable, immeasurable. We have some students who have not visited France, haven't visited places in their own country, and then suddenly they are able to get a passport and come here, and you know they're very, very excited. It opens them up, gives them more confidence in themselves, and just generally, as I say, different way of life and everything. They love it. They love it.
From the point of view of techniques, we learned a lot about perming. They have a lot more techniques for that than we have here. We use 1 or 2 methods, that's all, whereas they use 5 or 6. We didn't just exchange techniques, we learned about their culture too. We're very interested in their way of life and the way they travel and take their ideas to other people's. We visited their hairdressing salons, and we've been able to see how they work in their companies, and they've always given us a very warm welcome. As for makeup, everybody has a different speciality, which is why it's so interesting to share experiences. We do much more makeup training than they do. They do more training on basic techniques such as waxing, skincare, manicures, and less on treatments like false nails and fantasy makeup. So do you think we've taught them something? We hope so. And that's not all. Some apprentices have added a European dimension to their diploma. That's an extra element which will give them an access to a wider employment market. We'll have Euro Pro on our diplomas. This means they'll be recognised at a European level. I won't need to do further studies to validate my qualification to work in other countries. That's interesting. If you could leave tomorrow to work in England, would you be tempted? In England? Why not? And I have Italian roots. I speak fluent Italian. It wouldn't bother me to go and work in Italy. Amongst the group which went to England in January, 2 were offered immediate employment and several others would like to go and work in England. These exchanges can lead straight to employment abroad.
It was a benefit for my staff, it was a benefit for the students, it was a new experience for everybody. It just broadens people's horizons.
Bonjour monsieur.
Hello there. I would like a nice French tie.
Oh, taille, okay.
What?
40, 42?
No, a tie.
No. It's a
No,
taille.
I would like a tie.
Excusez-moi, j'arrive. Hein.
Oui, de que se passe-t-il?
J'ai un client anglais juste ici, il me demande sa taille. Je présente la taille juste ici et pas rien.
I would say that today, to ignore Europe is a bit like driving without a license. When we provide professional training these days, we absolutely have to invest in Europe to get to know our neighbour countries. This has become an almost fundamental educational principle.
As South Kent College, we've been very proud to be in the beginning of the design of this project, and from this we've had the pleasure of receiving the 500 French learners and their teachers, and we hope that they've had a good time with us.
It provides a golden opportunity to get English out of the school bag and into the professional reality. We're taking part in a multidisciplinary project, and the students have special language training to prepare them for the exchanges. They're introduced to the situations they may meet in England. And we have an extra advantage, as in organising this exchange, we have the help of a foreign assistant. Here, we've had an American assistant who's given us conversation courses and has made the situations more real, more authentic. I hope the opening they will have had through this experience will help them to go further later. The project couldn't have happened without the energy of the Chambre of Trades of the North, or without the joint support of the 3 lycées of Nord-Pas-de-Calais, the Adel Ed Centre of Calais, and the Apprentice Training Centre and the Chambre of Commerce of Saint-Omer, not forgetting our privileged English partner, South Kent College. This has been a cooperative enterprise financed by European funds, from which 500 young people from the region and the same number of British have benefited. Financially, of course, this project hasn't been easy to realise. We have been able to do it through European funds known as Interreg. And these funds will soon be redistributed. The situation is financially far from simple, but there's a real political will to develop and build on the experience. I hope that in the future, this experience will be renewed. It wasn't the first time for me in England, and I certainly plan on to go again.
Anything that broadens the horizon of a youngster so that they're receptive to new ways of working and new approaches to technology is a benefit to everybody.
I'd love to try again, it would be great. Maybe in a different country, maybe like Spain or Italy, so that you will learn a lot more.